All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to our first live together. I wanted to welcome you all to our live. My name is Dr. Leland. If you already don't know, we are at Level Up Academy. Shani Bell, introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Dr. Leland, for this opportunity. And I'm Ishani Behel. I am live from New Delhi, India, currently, where it's been pouring heavily for the past couple of hours. And I'm here to teach you guys about something really, really cool. And I am so glad to be collaborating with you on this forum, Dr. Leland. So you have the floor.
Well, welcome. So, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. You might hear my daughter screaming for Ringo, and that is my cat. So if you hear that, just ignore it. That's what happens when we could go live on LinkedIn. But today's topic actually is a lot of things. It's not just about learning new tools, but it's about learning grit, self perseverance. And as an entrepreneur out there, whoever is doing small business or starting to get their business going, and recessions here, probably coming next year, I'm not sure, but inflation is definitely here. I want you guys to know, and I wanted to highlight Melissa Perkins. And you're like, who is that if you don't know her? Melissa Perkins actually was born in May 13, 1987, in Perth, Australia. She is a technology entrepreneur, and she has married Cliff Albright, I believe, and the co-founder. So she is the founder of Canva, the tool that we are actually going to use today. And she married her partner in crime, Cliff. Together, they created Canva. Right? If you don't know it already, I can't help myself. I'm a teacher, so I have to tell you the background. But basically, she's a daughter of an Australian born teacher and a Malaysian engineer of Filipino and Sri Lankan descent. And then she attended Sacred Heart. Now, what I want you guys to think, especially for those young people out there, I know I sound like I'm super old, but she started this venture out of curiosity. She was 19 actually when she started thinking about it. Um, in June 28th of 2012, she basically was using like Adobe and things like that for technology on creating things. And she's like, my gosh, this is so hard and so difficult to just create something or design something. There's got to be a different way, right? So her and her husband actually said, okay, let's find a way to do it. And they were curious and they keep going. So she started Fusion Books back in 2006. That was their like first reiteration of Canva. She went to San Francisco in 2010, and she met an investor named Bill Tai to basically say, hey, here's my idea, pitch it and say what you guys think. What can you guys give me some money here? And from there, there's a lot of investors that believed in them and said, let's go for it, right? And when they did, okay, they went, I believe, open in um, June 2000, June 28, 2012 is when Canva was born, right? And I personally have not heard of Canva until like maybe last year. How about you, Ishani? When did you hear about Canva?
Um, I think I've been using it for I'm guessing 2 to 3 years now. So I think it's been a little bit more than that because I used to use it a lot during work. And yeah, and I think the story that you were just talking about is extremely inspiring. It talks I just wanted to sort of make a kind of like this reflective statement here, and how Melissa basically created a technology because she couldn't figure out the technologies as well. So if you don't figure out something, you create something, which was really cool. So yes, do
Yeah,
carry on.
all of our solutions that you see out there, it was born because there was a problem and we're trying to fix it. You were like so passionate about fixing things, and each one of us, I have my own way of solving my own issues, and you have your own company that you're also solving issues. So this is great. It's just a good example for us to think when we feel defeated, when we feel like, let's just give up this idea, it's just too much work. Don't, because stories like these, I mean, it's been a while, it's been a hot minute since she started this, and now it's like a 40 billion, not million, billion-dollar company, right? And it's actually helping us, teachers, entrepreneurs, right? People who are just working employees who wants to create really awesome stuff. But today we are only focusing, Canva is so much more. I feel like a salesperson for Canva actually, but I'm just excited because as an entrepreneur, you don't have enough money or budget to actually you know, pay $50 a month or $25 a month to just keep going on something you don't even know if you're going to use, right? But today, our focus is for me, business card. If you see this QR code, I'm going to teach you how to make this and create it using your own cell phone business cards. And if you see, actually, I put mine. So if I meet someone in person, um, my QR code is right there on my cell phone and they can just scan it. And I don't have to worry about like spending money and killing trees to do it. So that's my topic today, is creating a business card for you guys using QR codes. And Ishani will be doing content creation specifically just for Instagram. So in the future, we might be doing collaboration again. I will definitely go over like YouTube intro and outro while I'm doing. I just started YouTube, so I'm not a pro on it, but I know the design on it. I probably have designed over 125 designs now in Canva for less than a year. So I've been active on it. And so let's go ahead and start and show you. And I'm going to stop talking now and show you exactly how it is. So, first of all, this is my Canva, but Canva, it's going to look kind of like this or similar to this. Canva actually is so much more, and you can get it for free. If you guys are asking, like, can you get it for free or do you have to actually buy it? Yes, you can get it for free, but there are somewhat limits in terms of what you can do with it, right? But you could still, in the basic of it, you can still use it to your advantage. But when you think of Canva for your business, this is what actually happens. You're in Canva, you're like, whoa, it's overwhelming, there's so many things happening, right? Let me share my screen so you can see. um Yeah, we'll change that. Don't worry. You guys are able to see. So this is what Canva looks like when you come in. This is actually a pro account, right? I paid for it. So here's what's happening. You see a bunch of things. You have whiteboards, presentations, social media, videos, print products when you want to print, create your websites, and so much more, right? There's whiteboard, video, presentation. These are basically categories of what you want to do. A lot of teachers out there that's going to be teaching mind mapping, they have an auto mind map. It's amazing, right? You could do video, like 5-10 second video for your intro and your in your lives. You could also do it for YouTube. You could do it in Instagram. I'm not going to touch that because that's Ishani. You could do presentation. You could do whiteboard, right? But today it's going to be somewhat of creating this and basically QR codes and all of these things that you see in here. When you scan my code, you actually will have your all my social media that I want you guys to have access to. So when you scan this QR code, you'll basically be in this page. And then if you click on Facebook, you go to my Facebook. If you click on Instagram, you'll go to my Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and of course my podcast, right? And so, and then my website, because I have a website. So all of my contact information in one. So that, because I know that your business cards, obviously, it's another topic. I'll show you how to do an RFID or NFIC. I'm sorry, business card, like a credit card, at a later time. But today it's going to be this one. But imagine your credit card, not credit card, your your contact information, the business cards that you put, people would have to like log it in and type in your, your URL and all that. All of these are too much to put on the business card. But this one, it's free. You can always carry it on your wallet and you're good to go. So let's start. So what do we do, CJ? First, we go to home. Then, because cell phone is this way, right? And business cards usually are this way, horizontal. We're gonna do vertical, vertical. So when you're in your home, you click on the search button and you do vertical. You have to hit search vertical business cards. Okay. Once you have that, you have, if you're like, I'm not creative, I don't want to create my own thing that's just too much and overwhelming, literally tons of templates in here. What I want you guys to think first are these. If you see this, this is a pro account through education, right? And so if you see, it will say pro for you, PRO, pro. That means you have to pay for it. Anything that you see without any pro, that means you can use it, right? This one you can't because there's a education, because I threw it through education. But you can actually use any of these. But what I want you guys to do is just create a blank vertical business card. Okay, so let's create one. Now, for yours, you can pretty much do anything. And then you're like, well, what do I do now? First thing you need to do is look on the left-hand side, okay? Elements are basically things that you can add within this business card. If you want an arrow, you basically be the creative creator of your entire business card. And you're like, I don't know how to create. You can pick and choose however you like, right? And if you go down elements, there's a whole bunch of frames and grids and collections, depending on what you like. There's a whole bunch of them. Some of them are, again, for pay. If you're not a pro account, it might not be available to you, right? So let's just go look at the basic. Then, okay, let me look at uploads. Uploads are things that you actually can upload for your own design, right? Shani's here. She was on my podcast, a bunch of QR codes I've created, Level Up Spotify, all my stats. I mean, you name it, it's all in here. Now, texts are different texts that you actually can use. And again, see, it says edu, that's just education subscriber. But if you are a pro, it will say pro in there. That means that you cannot use it if you're not a pro account. So if you have the free account, you see this Spirit Night, you can actually use that because there's no pro. See, there's a whole bunch that you can still use even if you don't have a pro account. Okay. Now, photos is any photos that you would like to add. You could upload your own photo or you could use some photos. Again, photos the same way. Some are free and some are not, right? Styles is just basically, it's a different topic. Again, we're going to talk about later on when it comes to styles for your theme on your business. This is the like my Lua content. So all the color palettes that I have is in here. So if you want to stick to everything that I do based on my color palette, I can do that. Again, that I actually added these font sets. There's a whole bunch of combinations of fonts that you can use for anything that you would like, right? And then background, again, a bunch of backgrounds that you could do, any abstracts, anything that you want. And you're like, okay, what does that do? It goes like this. You could use it as your business card background, right? Anything that you'd like. And you're like, whoa, well, how are you going to write things? We'll talk about it in a minute, right? Just wanted to show you what that looks like. If you wanted to use charts, obviously we're going to go to QR code and then we're going to go to logo, which is my logo of the company. If you want to upload your own, you can. If you've created, you can also create logo. Again, that's a different topic. I'm going to focus just on the business cards today. And obviously there's more apps that you can use for everything that you need. Okay. So, but let's go ahead and start with our template. Okay. We're just creating a business card. So what are we trying to do right now? First thing I would do is look for a background that exudes your personality, that gets you excited, that makes you different than everybody else, right? And you're like, well, what are the dots? I'm like, looks to me like it's music, just like an artist. It's abstract, whatever you want to do. For me, this one kind of screams me because it's pink. I know it looks like Victoria's Secret or Sephora, but I'm just saying this one kind of, it kind of what do you call this, pop up in my head. I'm like, oh, this is pretty. It's like gray and pink. I love it. So we're going to use that as a background today. And then you're like, okay, then what? Then I want to actually know people that, I have my logo. I would like to use my logo. So then I have to look for my logo. And I don't know if I actually put my logo in here. So let's pretend that this is actually my logo. We're just going to do Spotify today, right? It's kind of like my thing. If you want to minimize, maximize, or make sure that it doesn't take the whole space of your business card, you can actually push it in. See this white right here? You can push it in. Then you can center it. You just click on it and you can move it around. Okay. And you're like, but I don't want the Spotify in here. So this bottom right here, you can literally just cut that like that. And I'm like, do I really want that white thing background in here, or do I just want the head and the words? So then I'm like, okay, maybe I will see. So you click on image and you go edit image, and you can, this one might be a pro account only. So don't quote me on it, but I believe it is. So you can, if you're in a pro account, you can actually hit background remover, and it will remove your background for you if you have like a busy background. Like for example, my background right now is so busy and I just want my head in there. You could do it like that. But if you notice, the words are not able to be seen. You're like, well, I don't want that words. I can actually put a different element on it, right? I can just do square and maybe the rounded. So I'm going to put rounded. And then what you do is you click on it to make it bigger, right click, send to back so that your picture can be in the front. And you're like, oh, I could still barely see it. Here's the good thing is when you go to the background, you can change colors right here. You could literally play around with your colors and you could still go back to white. Now it's not a square background that I used to have. It's now rounded, right? There it is. You could still see it. It's popping, it's white, but it's now rounded. So those are the things that you guys can actually play around. Now, one thing is if you move this, you can't really move this, right? But you could group it. You're like, what do you mean? So you could actually put that position, and let's see if I can group. Mm, or you can just move both of them around. I don't know if it will let me position my grouping. No, we could just align from the top. Let's see if we get, or middle, it's good. That's a middle, and then let's see at the top. Okay, so I'm gonna move this a little bit just to make sure. All right, so that's where I want. I'm only like, oh, I don't really like that on the very top, so I'm gonna put it down a little bit. Okay, so now you get the gist of where your background should be. Now you're like, okay, well, how do you do the fancy Facebook and all that? So in the elements, actually, hold on one second here. I've already have all of these, and this is actually the background I want. Again, if you see EDU, that's a pro account. And I wanted to add these to kind of pop for my thing. You just move it around, and I don't want this bottom. I just want it to be just like that. Okay, so these are just elements that you can add anytime that you want. Now, I've already downloaded this one, but if you do like this, Facebook, and it'll tell you all of the Facebook, whatever that you want. If you wanted to add that, you could, right? And then again, move it around. But that's not what I want, right? You could do in another Instagram, like literally just type in the name Instagram, and different type of Instagram comes in for you, right? But that's not what I want because I've already done this work last night. So I'm actually saying, okay, I just want these things. So we're going to make it simple for us, and we're going to say Facebook. And I want this Facebook to be here. Okay. And then we're going to want Instagram. We're just going to do 3 for the sake of this. And then we're going to do LinkedIn. Okay. We're just going to do 3 on these. We don't want anything else. And you're like, well, how do I put in my Instagram and my LinkedIn so that when people get into the business cards, they can just be redirected, right? So I have an account on Linktree. So if you're going to your Facebook, this is my Facebook account. The link on that, you just copy. So make sure that you have that already ready, right? In the Facebook, you click on the item, you right click, and the bottom right here, it says link. Click on that and just paste it and then hit enter. Link added. That means that's linked already. Now, Instagram, we're going to do my link tree. Let's go to Instagram. Right click, copy, and then right click again, hit the link, right click, paste, enter. Linked added. We're going to do LinkedIn this time. And right click, copy, right click, link, right click, paste. So now my Facebook, my LinkedIn, my Instagram and my LinkedIn are now in here, right? And if I want to put my website where this one can be linkable, I can literally just put my website in there as well. So let's do that. This is my website. Right click. This one I want it to be linked to my website. I'm going to go link, paste it, enter, link added, right? So now all of the icons that you see here, when you click it, it's going to be linkable, all of it, to all my contact information, as many link as you want, right? Now you're like, okay, now what? So where's the QR code? We're going to do text. Slow your roll. We're going to get there. Now, I wanted to basically put this, and I'm going to say, scan me. I know people are like, we know how to scan QR codes. You're right, but it's kind of cool when you have call to action, scan me, right? So you're like, whoa, that's way too big. So what you do is on here, right here, it says 40.3. I like Bungee, but obviously here there's a whole bunch of information on text, different text that you can actually use. The ones with the crown, that means you have to pay. The ones that don't have it, that means you can use it all day, all night. It's free. Okay. Now I like the Bungee, so I'm just gonna do lower it until I can feel good about like, okay, that's where it needs to be. And then again, just click on it and go down, right? And then you're like, okay, this is way too big. So you just go to this one right here and make it a little bit smaller and then center it again, right? Or you can just hit position and then you just say middle, right? And then it'll basically do it for you in the middle. Now, in the elements, I want arrows. So if you want different kinds of arrows, you literally just say that. And it'll literally tell you what kind of arrow you need. So maybe we'll do this arrow right here. And you're like, whoa, it's too big. Make it smaller, right? And you're like, okay, so where's the QR code? So here's what the fun part, guys. So right here on the share, oh, by the way, you can do the title here. So you're just gonna put, I'm just gonna put business card too. I've created a whole bunch of business cards lately. So we're gonna do business card too. And then we're gonna do share. And then we're gonna do download. Actually, view only link. We're gonna do view only link. So then once that happens, you copy this link right here. You just hit copy, right? Then here, when I show you the QR code, you click on that QR code. It's going to ask for that URL. You paste that URL and you're like, what is happening right now? What is happening is that anybody and everybody who scans this QR code is now able to access your Canva design, right? Because you need to redirect your Canva. You hit generate code and boom, there's your QR code. So you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, however you want to do it.
That's like magic.
Right? And there you go. There's your exact business card. So you're like, well, what do I do now? Here's the thing, you hit share. If you want to download it on your phone, you hit download and you, instead of MP4, you put PNG. It's just a picture, right? When you hit PNG and you download, it literally will download to your computer. You can bring it to your phone, just like what I did with mine. So anybody that meets me, we talk or whatever, they're like, "Whoa, do you have a business card?" I'm like smiling. You can scan my QR code, right? When you scan that QR code, they are redirected to your Canva. And your question is, do they have to have a Canva account? The answer is no, right? It's just no. Here's the good thing about this. So when you share, make sure you only do view only so that people cannot mess around with what you design. Okay, make sure that's always view only, because sometimes people were like, well, can they make changes? Yeah, they can. If it's not view only, there's different ways you can download it, but we're not going to complicate things on today. But view only. Now if you want to download it and share on your social media, you can. A whole bunch of social media that's popular is here. Just share your information. If you want to print this design, you can literally print on t-shirt, on wall, anything that you want. You could print it, right? But now you don't have to pay even Linktree. You don't even have to pay this. I'm thinking of like quitting my Linktree right now. I pay pro on it, but I don't even have to use this, because literally whatever that you see on my Linktree right here, I can create that in Canva technically, right? With all of the design that you want. The only difference is that in Linktree, I'm using this one. It's because I can see how many clicks so far, what's my revenue if I was using revenue. That's the only thing that's lacking in Canva. But I haven't explored it. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist in Canva. It just means I'm limited to my knowledge when it comes to that. But Linktree will have that for me in my heartbeat. I'm all about data analytics because I wanted to see where my effort goes. But if you just want like all of your social media in one, and you don't have to print anything and spend that money, and we're trying to save environment, okay? You can do this. You can just share PNG, email it to yourself. It's already on your desktop. Oh, and they have an app on you can actually design it on your phone. You don't have to have a computer to do it. They actually have an app on Canva. Okay. I don't know if you can see it, but if you go to the App Store, I feel like a salesperson in Canva. Whoever's watching this from Canva, you should hire me. Seriously. It will be actually, it will look like that. It will look like the Canva, and you just hit in there, and Canva will pull up. And if you have an account, you can just log in. But look, what you see on the desktop is what you see on the app. You can literally design this while you're whatever on the train, waiting for that no, don't do it on a traffic light. You get in trouble. But anytime you're in the doctor's appointment, whatever you're doing, you can wait there and just design your Canva. You can do it on your phone. Okay. And I have an iPhone, and I know they are available in Samsung as well. Okay. Any questions, let me know. But I will have to hand it over to Ishani.
Thank you so much for that. Okay, first of all, I think you have explained everything so well that you've done most of the work for me already. And I just wanted to have sort of reflect on Dr. Leyland's amazing demonstration of how well she sort of explained Canva. And I think what I can maybe gather, and I think the audience can gather from this, is the fact that this application or this form of technology is really really cool for people who are trying to figure out how to create and design stuff, because it is fast paced, it is flexible, it is adaptable. Like Dr. Leyland talked about the fact that, it is kind of device agnostic as well, right? And if supposing you're sitting at a doctor's office, you can go and easily design what you really want to design. You just have to basically tell the technology to do what you really really want to do, and it will do it for you. And that's why I love Canva, because it it helps me so much, because whatever I'm trying to think of, I have that freedom to do so. And that's why I really thought of bringing in this element of Instagram into the picture, because I really feel that for a number of entrepreneurs as well as individuals who are also building their own personal brand and small businesses, Instagram is also becoming one of the most widely used social media platforms. And I think the reason for that is completely dependent upon the audience of your product as well. There are a lot of individuals on Instagram these days that really prefer bite-sized information, and information that can be learned within a couple of seconds. That's why I'm pretty sure everybody must be hearing about this craze of reels and posts and pictures and visuals and visual learning as well. So I think that really tells us a lot about the fact that Instagram as a platform is teaching us a lot about education, is teaching us a lot about how we can actually design information in a way. And I think that's why I really wanted to sort of teach and sort of tell people on how you can utilize Canva and utilize that for your Instagram, because a lot of individuals get confused that, how do I kind of make the perfect grid, and how do I sort of make those aesthetically looking posts like that you see on Instagram and on your feed. I mean, it's difficult, right? Like, everybody's like, how do you do that? Like, that just looks super cool, and I don't have those design capabilities. So that's why you have Canva is there to sort of make you that brilliant artist that you really never thought that you could become.
Yeah, that's
Honestly, I'm
true.
telling you, Dr. Leyland, if anybody from Canva is watching,
You could
uh,
be hired right now as the sales
I
product
just,
development
yeah,
manager. Oh my gosh. Don't forget to
I
share
just,
your screen so they can
yeah,
see what you're
exactly.
doing.
Yeah, that would be great. So I'm gonna share my screen right now, and I'm gonna show everybody this whole idea of kind of of first of all showcasing you what Instagram is all about. So this is I don't know. I think it's just taking some time to load right now. So till then, I think I'm just gonna wait for a bit. I think it should be loading. Um, okay, can you see it now? All right.
I can.
So okay, so this is basically my ventures Instagram, and it has been put on hold, but just for the viewers to get an understanding of how, and all of this, let me tell you, most of this has been designed on Canva. And sort of the people who were in this in that helped me design this as well, my team as well. I mean, we all really worked hard towards this, and we figured out that even if we don't have skills in designing on Adobe or any other platform, we can still use Canva. And most of these posts, from your reels to your posts to everything, it's all been designed on Canva. And just to give you a kind of a brief introduction on what an Instagram profile really looks like, for your own small business. So over here, I've put sort of the name of my venture called Sustainer. And you can sort of, you have like these categories where you can sort of name what your business is going to be all about, if it's going to be a product or a service. You sort of talk a little bit about what your business is all about. You have a link to your business platform as well that you can sort of give through your Instagram. So um, using this platform is extremely beneficial, because what it really does is it gives you this sort of aesthetic visual appeal to you, to what your business is all about. And it's great because it also helps you diversify your audience, and it really tells you a lot about what your audience really likes and what kind of aesthetics they really like, and what your brand should be all about. I honestly feel that Instagram is a great way to validate your business, and it's a great way to actually learn a lot about your customers. And so basically, if you go down, you have like these highlights, which basically I'm going to explain when I'm talking about stories, which is going to come up later in the discussion. So you've got posts, you've got guides, you've got reels, and you can even save a lot of content from Instagram as well. and if you've been tagged in any posts, you can sort of access that through the tagged category. So the posts are basically square shaped, if you kind of look at the grid. And it basically kind of talks about, it's mainly displayed on the main feed. So when you open your Instagram profile, like I've opened up Sustaina's Instagram profile, you see those square shaped posts. And today I'm going to show you how you can actually make one, and how you can actually maybe think of organizing these square shaped posts. This really really helps you understand, helps people understand more about what the product is going to be about, what it actually looks like. You can be a complete designer in these kind of posts. And then you have your guides, which is basically a summary of what your posts are all about. Like for example, my business is kind of all about sustainability, so you can basically combine all your posts and make it in a form of a guide. So that is, I mean, really really cool. So just in case people want to learn more about what your business is all about, they can just go on to guides and learn more about that. And then you have reels, which is basically a visual advert. And then, of course, saved is, if supposing you're looking at content and then you want to save something for inspiration or to laugh at as well, you can just save that and watch that later, anytime, at any time. So I'm going to go on Canva right now, and I'm going to show you guys how we can maybe create a post. So I was just kind of experimenting these days on how you can actually do this. So so if supposing you want to create a design, you just go on here, and I think Dr. Leland has explained this extremely well. And you get these options, right? So you get the options of the fact that you want to do a presentation, a video, a poster. So you can maybe choose that you want to do an Instagram post, square. So what I talked about, an Instagram post is in the form of a square. So you click that, and voila, you get your own kind of blank page where you can do anything, literally. So why are Instagram posts important? So that they can be kind of divided into three parts, right? You can use your Instagram post for talking about your product. You can use it for kind of reflective quotes and inspirational quotes. That really adds a lot to your Instagram feed as well, because it shows that yeah, what your mission and what your vision of your company is all about. And it gives people this kind of positivity, as well, because you're sharing a lot of useful content on social media platforms, and it is really benefiting your customers. So I think it's really really important for you to maybe add in a reflective quote, or something like a reflective template. So let's start with, um, for example, displaying your product, right? So you want to talk about what your product is all about. You want to showcase, and you want the world to know that I created this, I designed this, and I want the world to know. So what do? You just type in what you just thought of, a product template. It's that easy, and you see all these beautiful designs, right? And what is really really fun about this is the fact that you can filter this according to the colors of your logo or the colors of your brand. So, or even your favorite color. So let's say that my favorite color is blue, right? And I apply the filter, and you can actually find these really fun product templates in the form of blue, right? So for example, I want to sort of go back to white. I see, and then I choose that, okay, this looks cool, I really like this because it talks a lot about the product features. but I really, really like this as well because it looks really, really cool. And I want individuals to know more about the visual aspect of my product. It can be anything, it completely depends upon your business. Anyways, you click that, and that's it. So can you imagine, you just created your own product template in just a matter of seconds. And what you can also do, as I think Dr. Leland has explained this as well, change the font. If you don't like this font, you can choose something else. If you don't like, if you don't want to make it bold, if you want to make it bold, you can make it bold. If you don't want to make it bold, I mean, it's your thing. You can do whatever you want to do with it. And if supposing you don't like this image, right, and you want to maybe edit it, what you can also do is, you can go on photos, right? If you have a product, or something like that, or if you're trying to show something that is already on photos, you could do that. Otherwise, you can obviously just go on uploads and look for the photographs that you're looking for. I have a number of icons from my own, from the businesses that have been a part of my venture. That's why you see a lot of logos over here. But if supposing, just for the sake of demonstration, let's suppose that you're making baskets, and you want to maybe, input that. Now, again, this is pro and I'm using the free account. So maybe I'm going to go with something that's free because I'm also a student. Um, so let's say that you have a coffee business and you have a cafe, right? Just click that, and you want to maybe make this your background instead. Just go on that icon that I once you click the image, you see those three dots, right? Click on more, go on replace background, and voila, right? You can display what your business is all about within one photograph. That is what's really, really cool about Canva. And if you don't want to talk about the description, and if you just want to talk about your business, and if it's supposing, I don't know, Dr. Leland, you can maybe help me with some really cool cafe names that I can put in here.
Uh,
um,
you could say like Coffee Bella. I don't know, like beautiful
yeah,
coffee, right? Coffee
Coffee
Bella.
Bella, right.
Yeah, we're in
So
Italy.
yeah, I love that name. So yeah, so you can design that, and you can maybe change the font to something that appeals to you. Now, another thing that I really wanted to talk about is typography, where you really have to be, um I mean, in tune with, if supposing it comes to design, and if you feel that, I don't know if this is looking nice, and I don't know if I should change this. People do tend to overthink over this, and people think that this is just a small matter. It's just, choosing a font, it's not such a big deal. But once you get into Canva, though, I'm going to tell you, once you are the leader of your own design, there are going to be things that are going to confuse you and that are going to make you overthink. You don't want that to happen. So you really have to go with your intuition over here. What kind of fonts do you think would look good on Instagram, or would look good on a social media platform, that would sort of make your audience, click on that post and figure out, hey, I really want to learn more about this. I still haven't figured that one out, but, like, you have to experiment and see. And that is what I really love about uh, uh, Canva. And you can even, for example, change the color, as I think Dr. Leyland mentioned, to something like this, as well. And you can even, you can do a lot of things as well. So, like, if supposing you want to add different kinds of elements, if you want to add like this blob to, like, make your design look more aesthetic, if you want to maybe add something in relation to coffee, you can, maybe add something like this, put that here. So see, you can do so much to just talk more about what your business is all about. You want to add texts, well, here you go. And you can, maybe over here it's written brunch, but I think I'm gonna um most probably change that to something else. And to change the color of your font, just go on text color and you can do that. So you can maybe talk about anything, add a quote, do whatever. I mean, uh, I'm thinking out loud here, but I'm pretty sure you're understanding what I'm trying to tell you. And now, if I sort of talk about the different kinds of posts, right? This was the first post, which talks about what your product is all about. The second post that a lot of, I think, small businesses have been using is this reflective template. So you just type in reflective templates, which is really cool. And I'm so sorry, I'm in the wrong thing. Um, so you just type in reflective template, and yeah, you see a bunch of informational kind of posts that you can use on your feed. And this can again be really really cool, because what you're doing over here is you are using quotes, you're using text in bite sized through bite sized information, through just using minimal characters. And you're talking about something related to your business, and Instagram is giving you that space to use that form of information. So, if supposing you want to talk about, you have a business that is that is related to building a cafe, and you want to maybe put on like this really fun coffee quote or something like that, then maybe you can go here. This is again pro. And you can um, uh, kind of explore something like this, right? You can again design this your own way. And you can delete this and maybe add a quote, right? And talk about that coffee is, I'm just thinking out loud here, like coffee is awesome, something like that. And you can even again, if supposing you want to make the circle look bigger, you can make the circle look bigger. If you want to make this arrow look small, you can do whatever you want. The world is your oyster. And I keep on seeing this quite a lot in a number of small businesses that I've come across. And that is really really informative. And just putting a quote, a simple quote about what your business is all about, or what your business really really believes in. I mean, it makes your feed look really really cool. And when you're also unable to think of various content ideas, you could use something like this. And now I'm gonna talk about another really, really cool thing, which is designing stories. And I know that I'm going we don't have a lot of time, so I'm gonna, go through this pretty fast. So stories basically kind of tell you about updates on your venture, on highlights that you can put, and as well as like different kind of information that can help you with your own business, right? So, how do you design your story? It's as simple as that. So, you go on create a design, you see Instagram story, just click that, and you can easily design that. Let's say that you are coming up with a quiz, right? Or you are designing this event which is going to be completely game based. I'm giving you an example. And you want people to have like this kind of visual appeal to it, right? That's when Instagram comes into account. That's where your business comes into account. So what do? You don't have the pro account. You can't really use paid videos as well as stock. You can go here and let's say that you're designing a game, right? This video looks kind of like a game. I mean, and you can do that as well. So maybe you can just put this here, and maximize it, because there are so many videos where you have to pay for stock. I'm pretty sure everybody has heard of it, but like if you go on Vimeo or any other kind of applications, you have to do that. But you basically just go on videos and see if there are any cool free videos that are already available, or of course you have the option of uploading your own product video, right? So you have a game night event that you're planning, right? Go on text, and you already have something that says game on, which is really really cool. Like, you sometimes, when you don't have time to think about what you're going to really put on it, automatically just go on text, and texts give you so many different ideas on how you can design your stories, right? And you can maybe write game night, right, for you, that your business has organized or that you've organized, and put that on your Instagram as an Instagram story. You can maybe add, you can tag yourself down below if you want, right? And you can maybe add something like at rate Ishani 1998, if that's your user handle. Put that on your Instagram story. And you don't have to use a high end kind of software to make this. I just made this in literally 2 seconds. And what you can also do is the fact that you can download this, right? And make it into a reel. Now, the thing is that on the desktop, it's a little bit difficult to make things in, to make these videos into a reel, because I don't think the desktop gives you kind of that kind of authority, but I'll give you an idea of what it really looks like. So I designed recently this really cool reel, based on Sustainer, and it is somewhere over here. It should be somewhere over here, and it basically really talked about what greenwashing is all about, and as well as what the business is all about, right? So basically I created this movie, right? And I uploaded it through, I made it on Canva, and you could basically download that and put it in the form of a reel. If I go back onto my venture, I created something like this over here. So I made this for another business, and I did made it on Canva. And it's so easy, because you just have to simply figure out how you want to use this kind of technology and make the best out of it. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen over here, because I know that it is very difficult to figure out what design is all about on Instagram, and figure out what grids are all about on Instagram, and how do you design them really really well if you're not a design expert. This is how you can do this. I literally showed you how you can design maybe an invite for a game night through just a story. And you can add information. You can add a QR code, as Dr. Leland talked about, and you can design it in such a way that can help people learn more about your business. And it can actually teach you a lot about aesthetics, about typography, about texts. So you're learning along the way as well. So I hope I didn't bore all of you completely by talking a lot, but I hope this helped. Uh, Dr. Leland, I don't think I can hear you.
Of course you can. I was testing you. What I wanted people to know is when you share reels or anything like that, remember, guys, there's a button in here too that you can literally go into your Instagram and share it. If you
Yeah.
don't want to download it, Facebook, Twitter, Facebook group, Instagram, personal, business, TikTok. I mean, Pinterest, you literally have that. Now, there's a thing that I've noticed lately. Somebody was selling 200 years worth of content where you don't have to think about it. It was pretty cheap. It was like $50. Which I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of cool. But Canva actually, before I let you guys go, actually have content planner. I don't know if you see this. I don't know if it's a pro thing, but if you go right here, it says content planner. So basically, you can add content when your content it goes in, and it automatically goes to whatever social media that you want based on whatever. So let's say like you want to add something, but you already created these things, right? You just click on it, add it in the time, or the quotes that you were saying. If you love life, don't waste time, for time life is made up. So if I wanted to use that, right? And I'm like, this is actually really good. I'm just gonna do that. Or like you said, educators night, right? Look at that. It's pretty awesome. You just a bunch of a click, and then you could just share that in whatever view link that you have, or you could just go to your planner again. You click home, and you can do your content planner, and you can add it. You can add whatever you want. And like here, I added this information that my podcast coming out on Friday. We're doing one today for Canva. You can create planners all the way to next month if you want to. Obviously, today you can do October, you could do November, you could do December, whatever that you have, so you don't have to think about it. And you can sit down for 5 hours, I don't know, just to make sure that you have content, and you don't have to worry about it. It releases on its own, so you don't have to think about it. So that's something that you guys want to do if you're in business, if you want to do Instagram or things like that. Obviously, pro account is much better than the personal account. But if you're a teacher from K to 12, you can actually get Canva for free in education. And I literally have hundreds of this. I got a certificate the other time on creating my Canva. I mean, these are all my designs that I have created myself. But each of one of these, like you just see some, but if you actually go into some of these designs that I have, I literally have 17, like on this one for my podcast, even though it looks like it's just one design. um, Actually, there's about 18, I think, in here, or 19. See,
Oh
I
wow.
just added pages within pages within pages that I create for my LinkedIn. I mean, obviously, this is my last one, but I literally have designs within the designs within the designs. So that I don't, because I know, like, okay, if it's a weekly level up, that's where I go, and then I just create whatever I need in here because it's already set up for me. I don't have to think about vertical, horizontal, or whatever it is. I know that that's the design, that this is the pages that is for then. One thing I love about Canva I wanted to add is that it's already calculated for you. But if you wanted to resize it to whatever, you can custom it, right? You could do a photo collage, you could do a logo, you could do an in-stream video ad, a LinkedIn banner. I created my LinkedIn banner here, right? Because it's like you could pretty much do anything in Canva. And that's one thing I love about Canva, because it does everything that you want in just a matter of seconds. um, Within that. So that's pretty awesome. Thank you so much for being here today, Shani, and sharing your Instagram. We're gonna have to do this next time to do content.
Yes.
Again, maybe on Facebook or YouTube, because you need an intro video. And I was trying to figure out, like, how do they do those cool video? And I just spent money on an intro video that's not even good. And I went to Canva, try to find it, and I'm like, boom, I got some for free for me. So
Yeah.
Canva is a really good thing to leverage for your business. And that is
100%, 100%. And I feel that like as you said, Dr. Leland, there are so many things that you can do with it, and I think there's so much that you can actually just explore by your own self, that maybe something that we wouldn't even know about, and the next day you figure it out that, oh, I didn't know that I can actually do this as well. And it just sort of takes you, and that's the whole process of Canva as well, right? Because it kind of like teaches you something every single day that you really didn't know about. And you shouldn't be like, oh my god, it's Canva, I don't know if I'll be able to figure it out, I have to be a designer. And if you go on these job descriptions, people are like, oh, you should be good at Canva. I'm just trying to sort of tell everyone that nothing is, as difficult as it may seem once you sort of go on that platform. And
That is the point, though. That's
yeah,
the reason why the CEO. Melissa
Exactly.
literally created Canva so that anybody can be a designer. It's just a matter of your own creativity, getting that juice. I'm like, I wonder what I would create today, rather than like, okay, what's the code for HTML or the CSS,
Exactly.
Java, like, okay, Adobe. I have Adobe too. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so boring. I can't, for me, for just one color does, you know what I mean, like, and then my daughter does Procreate, and a lot of people that does great sketch notes and things like that use Procreate, but I'm
Mm,
not that creative, so it's not gonna happen. But when you use Canva, you look like you're so creative, because it's just, but it's just in your head and how you want to present yourself. And so for people out there that you're not a business owner, you are just, you're an employee, you're not any VP, but you want to create your own personal brand. This is your chance to explore Canva to your advantage and create that skill that you actually can do in your own for free. You just have the time to do it, right?
yeah, 100%. And I think that's what is the lesson that we've learned today as well. And Dr. Leila, I just really wanted to thank you for this amazing opportunity. And I hope everybody got to learn something. And it was a really, really cool hands-on demonstration of the app, which was really interesting to learn. If anybody wants to reach out to us, or even to me, about any other kind of on any other functions of Canva, I'm more than happy to help you with that. I love this application because it's therapeutic for me to a certain
Yeah.
extent.
Just sit
So
down and go, trying to figure out things
yeah,
about your.
yeah,
Well, thanks
exactly.
for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day. And what time is it in New Delhi?
It's 10:30, but
PM, PM, okay? It's 10:30
PM.
PM, guys, okay? So we gotta give her beauty sleep. It is 10 a.m. at PST in California right now. So
Oh
I love
my god.
the global collaboration here. We're truly international collaborators, right?
Truly international.
All right.
Truly
Night,
international.
Shani.
All right,
Bye, everyone.
everyone.